other folk.
Peace,
What's
family.
up? Peace.
What's up? What's up, Queen?
Bruh.
Yes, Queen.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
putting on my full, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna put on my full uptown accent. What is really good? What is really going on?
Okay, Queen. So, yeah, I gotta give our people brass tacks because I'm homegrown, so I'm out the trenches. Um, I'm here in Northeast, and I had to make a couple run throughs just to tell the family that don't stay abreast with what's going on, quote unquote, politically, whatever, with the media. What has went down. Now, I appreciate you, Queen. I'm a huge supporter. Keep up the good work. This is powerful. Brother Blue and Red Pill, those are my teachers. I learned from them. So I just want to shout them out. So I'll say this: a lot of our people, a lot of our people are not aware of what's going on. But here in DC, our people, they needed to be shocked back into reality. So I'll use a metaphor. Our people needed to face a precipice, and I think this is a gift and a curse. But the gift side, this is a precipice, because precipice is defined as, you on the edge of a cliff, so to speak, and you have no way to turn, right? A lot of our people in the DMV in particular, but nationwide, we are operating with European software in an African body.
Speak on it.
And that's the root of the problem. Like Brother Blue Pill said, the problem is really in our subconscious mind. And, when we study our scholars, we learn that. When we study Dr. John Henry Clark, Asa Hilliard, Chancellor Williams, who his book saved my life, we learn that. So to make a long story short, I think this situation can pan out for us more positive than it will negative, because right now I'm watching us build, especially on social media, like, me and you, and that's a good thing. That's constructive. And we just got to stay focused. But what I want to say is that I outlined this in the video about 9 months ago. I learned this information I studied automatics, one of my teachers. And, I'm reading right now, just lies my teacher told me, James Lowen, he wrote The Sundown Town. And and what studying automatics and what was presented to me about a year ago is that this country was on the brink of a civil war. And then when we study history, we see that the original Civil War was basically the North the South was conceding from the North, right? And they had slaves. So they wanted to concede because they wanted to keep their power. They didn't want any authority, right? If you look at everything politically after Obama, that's literally what this country was going through, red versus blue. The red was trying to enact an Article 5 convention. This is in the Constitution. If a state can enact an Article 5 convention, they can basically become their own authority. There's no federal oversight. The federal government can't tell them anything. Like a country within a country. California tried to do this, Queen Lioness, in 2011, I think. Don't quote me on it, but you do the research. California tried to do it. Texas tried to do it after them. But they wasn't successful because of Congress. But what I realized from automatics laying this out and then studying history is that is what set the precedence for what we see now. You see, because that's how the Civil War started originally. The only difference was they had Black people, quote unquote, African people, Moorish people as slaves.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now they don't. but were trying to secede. They don't like the federal government.
At
If
all.
you read at all, if
they
you
don't
read
respect the Constitution either. That's the whole thing. We're here for the Constitution. No, you're not. You're not. But anyway, go ahead.
Facts. I mean, they don't respect the Constitution because it's not innate of them. It's not their document. You know, our ancestors, the Iroquois, we created the Constitution. The Iroquois tribe, they plagiarized the Constitution. So it's not innate of them, so they're not going to respect it because you know what I'm saying? They're not going to respect it, and that's why it's a contradictory document. And that was a great point. And so when we study history, we see that this is where this precedent was set when they tried to secede and it wasn't successful. But they're not going to let that go. You know, the quote unquote white nationalists or the extreme right, they have bought so many weapons, especially when Barack was elected, that they're not going to keep going for, you know, the government telling them what to do.
Facts. They're not even going to wear a damn mask or nothing. They ain't going to do nothing that they don't want to do. I mean, anyway, go ahead, bro. You cooking, go ahead.
Facts. So it's just like, this was foreseen. Irritated Genie, you know, he's out of the Southeast. Irritated Genie, he laid this out. So this was foreseen. So, like, I'm so glad that we're doing this live, and I'm listening to Brother Blue. Brother Blue, I've been a student of Blue for years. He calms me down because I just came in kind of riled up. You know what I mean? I just want our people to understand that this is not a game. First of all, you cannot allow the mayo media to define terms for you. You can't allow the mayo media to illustrate what is really happening. You have to think for yourself, even if you work for, you know, white people. You know what I mean? I don't, but even if you do, you have to think for yourself. And when you think for yourself, you're going to start to analyze. When you start to analyze, you're going to start to ask questions, like Nelly Fuller has taught us. All problems are solved by questions and answers.
Yes.
That's why Nelly Fuller, I can grab the book.
Hold on, wait.
I know you can.
This the word guy. Is this the word guy? No, this the word guy. But
yeah.
Over there. So we on code. We get it.
Exactly, sister. So, my suggestion right now, you know, black folks, stay home in the DMV. I'm talking to my people here. Stay home, and this is going to reverberate around the nation. We know that. Like this is going to reverberate. Now, I will say this: I don't think this is isolated. I don't think this is by happenstance. I would bet money this is orchestrated because I read the Prince by Niccolo Machiavelli. That's the father of Western political science. Niccolo Machiavelli. He was an Italian diplomat, like in the 1400s, I think. And this is.
You breaking up, bro? Hello. Okay.
Yeah. Politics in this country is a scheme, but I will say this: I don't think that they seen Donald Trump coming. I think he's a wild card, like a Trump card. So I'll say this: this definitely was orchestrated. If our people are watching CNN or Fox or whatever one of these media outlets are, we need to watch them with a analytical and a critical mind, because more than likely you're getting a half truth, if not a straight out lie, you know, as we know. But we need to stay home. Our people, those of us who are aware, I believe that we need to really focus on metaphysics and spirituality, because when you study history, you read the Kabbalion, and when you take it a step further with the Emerald Tablets and the Coffin text, this was all prophesized. Like literally what we're going through is, I'm talking about beyond the Bible. This was all prophesized. And the only way we're going to win, quote unquote, is spirituality. Like, know thyself. Like, this is a fight. This COVID, these vaccines, the economy falling, quote unquote. It's all orchestrated, but this is a fight that we can't win in the physical because our enemy doesn't outnumber us. But like Blue said, they have our people in the on the subconscious. You know what I'm saying, Queen? So it's 3 ways to reprogram the subconscious, which we don't have the power to do right now. Trauma, repetition, and symbols. So we can't snatch our people up and reprogram them. So this is a spiritual war now. Now it's a metaphysical spiritual war. Like Blue says, like Red says, like all of our, like Dr. Phil Valentine says. So I believe that we need to focus on that. Us of like minds, goddess and goddesses, we got to stay connected, keep networking, and stay focused, and do not let our emotions tear us. Because I was very, very angry earlier, telling my men around Trinidad and up here and there and all around in DC, like, go home, and they're listening to me, and I'm like, look, I'm showing them. I'm like, they just stormed the Capitol. Some of them listening to me, some of them not, and that kind of frustrates me. But yeah, that's just my belief. But I'm very hopeful. 2021 is going to be a real challenging year, but we're gonna win though. We're gonna win.
Oh, that part was already written. Like, I'm not confused. I'm very, very clear that the victory is definitely ours, but I'm also clear that unfortunately a lot of us ain't gonna make it. What I want to let you know, brother, while you were talking, Schumer said, and they said, this is according to CNN, y'all, they're planning to resume the electoral count at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So it's about an hour and 15 minutes or so. And the curfew was in effect. We're going into the 7 o'clock hour, bruh. Right? And if y'all don't know who we're talking about, this is the 5 again. Y'all need to subscribe to this brother on IG and stuff. But look, they're still out there on Capitol Hill all over. So they got pushed back from the Capitol. They're just going to disperse out into the DMV. They're going to disperse out into the city, really? And the count is going to continue. And in my opinion, as the count continues and they start to ratify, whatever the hell you want to call it, these electoral votes, the electoral counts. I'm not sure about the other race that was going on with the Senate in Georgia, but either way, whatever. I mean, we know that Senator-elect Reverend Raphael Warnock did win, but there was another one. He may have won also, so the Senate might be blue. But either way, as this stuff continues to break, if they do go back and count these electoral votes for the presidential campaign family, these white supremacists will continue to be activated, and they're going to be looking for soft targets. They're going to be looking for black children, black
women and kids,
and black men, lone wolves. So we have to also, let people know. But if we're going out and telling folks, hey, go home, stay home, then, and they don't listen, then there's not but so much that we can do. But if I say, I urge anyone, if you're around the country, wherever you are, tonight and beyond, you see a kid on the street and you know them, call that parent, get them in the house.
Facts.
I saw some teenagers walking around, today just willy-nilly, like people just unaware. But I know you were out there than I was. Go ahead.
Yeah, you say uptown they was just walking around willy-nilly? Walking
around willy-nilly, chilling, distracted on their phone, listening to music. And this is not the time for us to not have our children in our grasp. And shout out to my sister Supernat, who's in the chat right now, by the way. That's my real sister. But anyway, you know how it is with the youngins around, right? They can't really tell some of them nothing. But I always take my time and I talk to them, and I never had no problem. I taught high school for a long time. I love them. But what are we seeing and what are we doing about making sure our children aren't soft targets?
Absolutely, and that's why I had a little bit of frustration when I came in. I was coming from right away, had a little bit of frustration because I was trying to press the issue, and certain not all about not all, but some wasn't taking it serious. But I think they picked up their phones. They get some messages, some shares, and they're gonna have to take it seriously. And I will say this, and this is not out of any bravado or any tough guy or whatever thing, but we're not playing down here in DC. You know what I'm saying, or PG County, none of that. You know what I'm saying. Those of us who are aware, we're not playing. You know what I'm saying. So, as far as them dispersing out looking for soft targets,
I got you, bro. I got you.
yeah, you know what I'm saying. But you know what I'm saying, and I just want my people to go home. That's my thing. You know what I'm saying, because that's what needs to be done. And we have to, like I said, our people are facing a precipice. I mean, like a lot of our people, especially in my family, Democrats, Biden supporters, and I'm telling them like, read. If you don't want to read the Prince, I break it down to them like this. And it's in this book. Calvin Coolidge said, I heard Automatic say it about 10 years ago, but it's in this book. James Long quoted Calvin Coolidge, the president Calvin Coolidge. He said, the business of America is business. That's what he was quoted saying that. Now, what's crazy about that is I was listening to Queen Vicky about an hour ago,
Shout out
and
to Queen Vicky Dillard. You know what I'm saying?
fact, fact, the goddess. Oh my goodness, where would we be without her? She was emphasizing how business is warfare, and that's the truth. So when we think about it in that context, and I have a business, and when you think about business in that context, do you understand, like Vicky laid out, that we're here? We were assets, a business asset, right? And when you understand that Calvin Coolidge said it as a president, the business of America is business. So America jurisprudence, which they call the law enforcement, the executive branch, everything is business. So when we understand it in that context, we have to understand that this is a war. This is literally business is warfare. This is a war. You can't be running around here voting for anybody that's not guaranteeing you tangibles. You can't be running around here putting your offspring in systems that is not going to produce or give them the information to become independent or to further you. Like Malcolm said, only a fool sends his, I can't quote him verbatim, but only a fool sends his children to school of his enemy. So it's just like, we're a lot of times we're frustrated with our people, but I love my people so much, because these are our family members and friends, that I just think we got to keep pushing forward, and we just got to keep pushing forward. But I'm seeing jewels like this build, just the fact that I'm coming on behind Blue, and this is what we need, because we're cultivating a younger society. I got young, as ironically, young black women, I'm talking about like 12, 13 years old, straight out the city, you know what I'm saying, that are like way more intelligent than I was at their age right now.
Yeah, true that.
Yeah.
They are listening to us though. That's the whole thing. Like, and I have to remind myself and bring myself back down, and be grounded. And that, we can easily say people turn their back on our children. I hate that. They shun them and say, oh, they listen to this, they doing this, they wild, whatever. But no, they listen to what we talking about now. Don't ever get it twisted. And even the most conscious amongst us, they're tapping in and tuning in. They're aware, because they want that level of guidance. And so, look, this is our time. This is my time. This is your time. This is all of our time, the righteous time for those of us who are going to come and, take leadership. You already saw 2020, and even before 2020, a lot of our elders and great scholars and master teachers, some of them have transitioned, and the ones that are still here, they're passing on the torch to us. Like, this is our time now, for us to establish a level of order and stuff like that. So I'm about to I gotta tap out really quickly. I might have like a 10-minute break. I have a meeting, and then I'm gonna try to tap into a Clubhouse. But
absolutely,
I'm so grateful for you and like all the work that you do, and you know, just being really from the grassroots, like from the hood, from the, you know, just all of that, and still learning and being a scholar, and
Absolutely.
yeah.
It took work, Queen, and thank you so much. I'm so appreciative of that, and I'm a student learning from my teachers, and you guys are my teachers, and I'm so humble, and I just want our people just keep our heads up, like Pop say, you know what I mean. This is a fight. We in a fight. I would say don't be afraid of death because death is not the end, and we're gonna win. This gonna work out. You know what I mean? This gonna work out. We just gotta keep our head up and stay supporting each other, and keep spreading 528 hertz. That's the love frequency, as you know. 528 hertz. Everything down here is light, vibration, frequency, magnetism, and energy. So that's where we at. So you know, we're going. Everything is good. Everything is good. It's a fight. Everything is good. Love you to death, Lions. I'm always with you, 100%. I'm gonna keep spreading the word.
Thank you so much to Five. You know, again, y'all need to subscribe to our brother. Check him out. We're gonna do this again. Salute to you, brother. Black Power.
Absolutely. Be one.
Be one.
All right.